Blue-collar trade professionals are out-earning white-collar college graduates right now. Closing up the artery, and this will cause angina. That means a lack of blood supply over here. So this patient may complain, if you have a belly sticking out, you have a problem, because the fat that's in the stomach, that's called visceral fat. This is very detrimental fat, and that's the epidemic that we have today. But the only thing that will make you lose that fat very quickly is
Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas is a world-leading cardiologist
who has treated more than 250,000 patients with chronic heart disease.
Now, he's using his voice to help millions more prevent ending up on the operating table through simple lifestyle techniques.
this is crucial. Glucose actually is toxic inside the bloodstream, and the body pours insulin into the bloodstream to push glucose out. But frequent consumption of carbs, sugar, processed foods is causing insulin to stay up, which can lead to insulin resistance. And you're going to be more prone to heart disease, which is the #1 cause of death all over the world right now. But this is where fasting comes in, because after 12 hours, you start pulling the fat out. And the first place the fat comes out of is going to be visceral fat. But with modern living, we have lost this physiology of fasting. So we'll go into that.
And there must be certain things which people aren't aware aren't healthy as it relates to my cardiovascular health.
Yes. So I see that people who overly do aerobic activity, they end up with more coronary artery disease than patients who do short sprints.
Microphone, microphone check, 1, 2, 3. Microphone check, 1, 2, 3.
Yes, CJ, I'm hearing loud and clear.
And were you hearing the video? Just checking.
Yes, I was. Obvious what I was.
It has stopped, but we were hearing it.
Okay. Just checking. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Herbs are actually created to benefit us, just as God intended when He gave herbs for our service. Cayenne pepper in particular appears to suggest, where do you want me? I'll thin this blood.
They don't want you to know this about beef tallow. You see people cooking with it, you hear the name here and there.
It's going to be visceral fat. But with modern living, we have lost this physiology of fasting. So we'll go into that.
And there must be certain things which people aren't aware aren't healthy as it relates to my cardiovascular health.
Yes. So I see that people who overly do aerobic activity, they end up with more coronary artery disease than patients who do short sprints and resistance exercises. Then there's mold, and almost 70% of homes these days have some form of mold toxicity in them. But also, one night of bad sleep, you become insulin resistant the next day. And there's calcium supplements, excessive fruit, white rice.
White rice?
You'll be surprised how much arsenic there's in rice these days.
I watch a lot of true crime. People kill each other with arsenic.
Yes, and it'll slowly kill you. And lastly, this is going to surprise you.
I see messages all the time in the comment section that some of you didn't realize you didn't subscribe. So if you could do me a favor and double check if you're a subscriber to this channel, that would be tremendously appreciated. It's the free thing that anybody that watches this show frequently can do to help us here, to keep everything going in this show in the trajectory it's on. So please do double check if you subscribed, and thank you so much, because in a strange way, you're part of our history and you're on this journey with us, and I appreciate you for that. So yeah, thank you. Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas, what is it you've spent the entirety of your career, especially the last few decades of your career, focusing on?
Prevention of heart disease, which is the #1 cause of death all over the world right now. You see, the heart is made up of many parts, so this is important. It's a pump, so it's a muscle. So you have diseases of the muscle. and it's rampant these days, cardiomyopathy, weakness of the muscle. Then you have the arteries on top of the heart, and that's called coronary artery disease, diseases of the arteries. They block up. Then you have the valves. The valves tend to get damaged as well. For example, aortic stenosis. And then you have the peripheral circulation, all the blood vessels that go to your carotids, your brain, your legs, and to all the organs of your body. And then you have microvascular disease, which is the tiny capillaries, that they become dysfunctional as well.
What's a capillary?
Capillary is the branch of the branch of the branch.
Okay, so like the tiny little veins.
Final ones, yeah. So when they become dysfunctional, that organ becomes dysfunctional as well. So cardiology affects all these aspects.
And how long have you been operating on people's hearts?
About 35 years now.
And how many hearts do you think you've treated?
In excess of 30,000.
And what's the age range of those patients?
They were used to be mostly older people, over 65. Now, I would say 50% of them are under 65 and 50% are over 65. So the demographics is changing. The younger people are developing heart disease.
So the youngest patient you've ever treated?
28.
And what was the predicament in that case?
He was having a full-blown heart attack. So that means that one of his arteries was completely clogged up. It had a blood clot in it. There was no circulation past that artery. And therefore, he was having acute chest pain, sweating, blood pressure was low. He comes straight to the hospital. I rush to the hospital, take him straight into the cath lab and try to open up that blockage. And we did open up that blockage and we put a stent in it and got rid of that blockage immediately to restore that blood flow to the heart muscle.
And at 28, how does one get a heart attack? You said it was blocked up.
There's a lot of nuance in that. Most people don't understand what a heart attack is. So in a nutshell, I'm going to tell you what it is. When you have a plaque is a buildup of a little fibrous material inside the artery, and that doesn't cause a heart attack. A heart attack is caused when one of those plaques cracks. Now, in this diagram, for example, it's showing that the plaque is closing up the artery, and this will cause angina. That means a lack of blood supply over here. So this patient may complain of chest discomfort, or he may not complain of chest discomfort. Because remember, when you have a blockage like this, only 20% of the patients actually get chest pain. That means that you could have a blockage like this in a patient, and he may not have any chest discomfort. And the only way you're going to pick that up is by doing a stress test or a coronary calcium score or some other modality to see whether he has blockage or not. A heart attack is when a minor blockage, which is not causing much flow disturbance, suddenly cracks.
And what happens to the plaque that cracks off?
And when it cracks open, the blood that's going past it sees the crack and wants to repair it and forms a blood clot on it. So the final thing that shuts down that artery is the blood clot. It's not the plaque that shuts it off, it's a blood clot. So a heart attack is caused by a blood clot at the site of a rupture. And what causes rupture is inflammation.
Banks earn 10% interest on your money while paying you 0.5%. What if you could flip that and collect the fees yourself? If you've got $50,000 or more sitting in savings,
causes rupture is inflammation.
Okay, so when people say that heart disease is the number one killer of people generally that are diseased, is it that process that's causing it alone, or is there a multitude of processes that lead to heart disease?
There's a multitude of things that lead to heart disease. Look.
So that was a heart attack.
That's right.
Okay.
So, one, you're making plaque. You shouldn't be making plaque. A plaque is an inflammatory area inside your arteries. It's reacting to something. And I can go into the nuance of what's the body reacting to? What's inflammation? Inflammation is reacting to something. What is that something? And I think it's important for your audience and everybody to know what that something is. Now, you got this pimple. Think of it as a pimple on the inside of the artery. Now, one day, when there's enough inflammation in your body systemically, that pimple is going to crack open, just like a pimple on the skin breaks open. Now that artery has this little pimple on the inside, and it cracks open and a blood clot forms on it, and that's a heart attack. So you don't want plaque formation, you don't want plaque instability, which is rupture of that plaque, and you don't want a blood clot to form on it. There are factors that affect each of these processes, and all three processes are going wrong today. And that's why we have so much plaque formation and instability of the plaque, which then leads, of course, to heart attacks. And our blood in general, we have more coagulation issues today than we ever did before, which means our blood, because of inflammation, is more ready to clot more easily. So we're having the perfect triad. It's the perfect storm. That's why we're seeing an epidemic of this, and that's why we're not making a dent in it. Yes, you can have a plaque rupture and have a heart attack, and we put a stent in you. Okay, that's fine. But what did we do to look at the underlying reason as to why you formed that plaque, and why did you rupture it, and why was your blood so clotty in the first place that made you actually seal off the artery?
Is this an increasing problem?
Yes, it's a huge problem because those factors have been identified now. And that's what we go for in my practice. We look for the factors. Why did you make this plaque? Why is there so much inflammation in your body? Inflammation is a reaction to something foreign. What is that foreign stuff? What is that abnormal physiology in you that your body is reacting against? Because that's what inflammation is. And inflammation, of course, whenever there's going to be inflammation, there's going to be increased tendency to make blood clots. So we go in, we chase all these things in patients to find out. And that's the real prevention.
That 28-year-old that came in and you treated him, was that a surgery you did?
We call it a surgery, but it's not. It's a angioplasty. So we go in from the wrist, or we go in from the groin with a catheter. And we go into the coronary artery.
A catheter being like a tube?
It's a hollow tube. And we put it into the coronary artery. We shoot the dye inside. We can see where the blockage is. And then we thread a tiny wire into that artery through the blockage and then bring in a balloon and squash the blood clot out of the way, restore the circulation, and then bring in a stent. A stent is like a spring that opens the artery up. We leave the stent inside there. We remove everything else. And now you have an open artery and you have blood flow going down that artery.
And what had that 28-year-old done to end up in your surgery? What were the decisions that they had made that brought them there?
So he was, number one, he was overweight. But he wasn't just overweight. The overweight was all in his belly. And he had a fatty liver. And he had what is known as visceral fat. He was not a diabetic, but he was a pre-diabetic. That means he had a lot of insulin in his body and his glucose levels were good. So if you went to his family doctor, they'll say, oh, you're not a diabetic. Your hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood test that you do for diabetes, is actually okay. But actually that patient had a very high insulin blood level. Now, insulin is a very atherogenic molecule. It causes smooth muscle proliferation. Smooth muscle is in the walls of the arteries. It causes vasoconstriction. It makes your blood more clotty. And it causes inflammation. So this patient was a pre-diabetic. And this is very important. This is what caught my attention. Because when I looked at my patients that were coming in with heart attacks and hardening of the arteries, and when I tried to identify why they're doing this, none of them were diabetics. But then I did a glucose tolerance test on them. And what happened, it was just by chance that I happened to have these tests in my office where you can measure the blood glucose. So I had about 120 of them. So I said, look, let's just do some random testing on these patients. And I found that at least half of them had no diabetes, but their glucose intolerance. That means that the sugars went up, but not enough to make them a diabetic, but it did go above the normal range. We did not have insulin testing at that time. About 10 years later, we started testing insulin in the office, and I bought a machine for this purpose in my office to measure insulin levels. And life was never the same again.
Why?
Because it's all about insulin when it comes to the metabolic derangement. So I found that these patients, the sugars were going up to 150, 160 after giving them a glucose drink. Mm-hmm. So you say, okay, He's not a diabetic. Look, the sugar didn't really go high. But when you measured the insulin level, the insulin was off the roof.
So when you say this is an insulin problem, can you explain this to me like I have no idea what glucose and insulin are? For any of my listeners out there that have a inexperienced understanding of these terms and what they do and mean.
It's crucial. Everybody needs to understand the relationship between sugar, which is glucose, and insulin. When you consume sugar or glucose,
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it is.
Is that Benjamin?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
So we're just going to take a pause here for a minute. Dr. Paradin Jamnadas, world-renowned expert cardiologist, and he has a lot to share with us this morning about heart attacks and metabolic health and fasting. And I think it would be a good thing for us to take a minute and listen to this world-renowned cardiologist as he walks us through what's going on, the epidemic with heart attacks. It used to be folks in their 60s, now as young as 28, young people are coming down with heart attacks. So we'll just pause here for a minute and open up. We will do our company introduction. We will talk about our Hemohim, and of course, Mondays are freestyle mornings. We do a lot of interaction. We talk, we share, we edify, we share our testimonials and our experiences. We are a little bit unstructured on a Monday, so we really do invite participation. We really, really do. At the core, Mondays and Fridays, we invite participation. If there are folks that are with us for the first time, we allow them to introduce themselves. And if they might have questions, we'd be more than happy to share from the wealth of experience we have here in Atomy, whatever it is, product-wise and otherwise, that might be able to help these individuals. So with that said, we will pause again. Dr. Paradin, world-renowned cardiologist. We'll take up a pause here. We will resume the video, but let's just pause and say good morning and welcome. And if you are new, we are happy to have you here. We will do our company introduction, Atomy, and a short version of the Hemohim, and we will go back to regular programming. And I'm hoping that we will have some lively participation this morning. If you have a question, feel free to ask it. If you have a testimony to share, we'd be happy to hear it. So, Atomy, the great company out of South Korea, this wellness company, the company that introduced Hemohim to the world. It's called Atomy.
There's a company that has made the seemingly impossible become reality. Starting from a small country to USA, Canada, Japan, Southeast Asia, and now South America. A global company with 4 million active members across 11 countries, growing beyond its home market and quickly gaining notice across the world. A company that received the $50 million Export Award in 2017. with extraordinary growth since its foundation in 2009. Global sales reached about $1 billion in 2017 and continues to show steady growth. Going beyond customer satisfaction, fulfilling customer success. We are Atomy. Beginning with health and beauty products, Atomy's various products include food, living, fashion, and home products. Figures released by the Korea Fair Trade Commission show that Hemohim was top in the industry in sales volume for 3 straight years. While the Skincare 6 system was the best-selling cosmetic product, the new Absolute Skincare set released in 2017 was chosen by many consumers and is becoming a revolutionary skincare product. These figures indicate how much Atomy products are satisfying consumers around the world. However, Atomy's true value lies in the company's inner side. Atomy uses its Mastige strategy, providing benefits to consumers with absolute quality at absolute prices, while also increasing quality of life for our members. Atomy supports cooperative companies so they can do their best to maintain the best quality, so customers can get top quality products at affordable prices, creating a culture that benefits the growth of all parties involved. Third, culture of sharing. The company is a part of a society, and Atomy is pushing to become a role model in creating a better society by promoting the culture of sharing and communication between company and society. To live, to love, to learn, and to share. We hope Atomy can become the life partner that leads to your success. Cherishing the spirit. We are proud Atomy.
This is the latest non-invasive blood glucose monitor developed by the Charité University Hospital in Berlin. It only needs to be clipped onto the finger. And
this Hemohim product is pretty incredible, really quick. I just want you to understand, the newcomers, that this Hemohim was not produced, again, for the general mass, which is us. It was originated in a laboratory that's funded by the Republic of South Korea's government. So the taxpayers of South Korea, actually, we need to thank them. They are funding this company just like us. We pay taxes in the U.S. Our tax dollars go to the federal government, Pentagon, NASA, so on and so forth. So this product, what is it? For those of you that are wondering, please don't just take it because somebody told you to take it. You need to figure out and do your own due diligence and research to see why this product is working for you. First thing, this product is not just for sick people. It is not a medicine. It will not fix your ailment. But what it will do is it will enhance your lifestyle. The reason why is when you ingest this, it will kickstart your natural killer cells. That means it's your first line of your immunity defense system. As we are aging, I look around the room, and majority of us are in the baby boomer era, 1946 to 1964. On top of that, we're living longer because we're eating better, we're drinking better. So the longer you live, the more we have to fight aging, in essence. This Hemohim will protect your first line of defense. If your first line of defense in your immune system is damaged, you will be guaranteed to get sick. You will not be able to fight off any deadly pathogens that may come your way. So please take this seriously. Don't just take one and think something's going to happen, because we have something called body mass, right? So minimum, like my size, I take about 4 a day. Right? I love it because it makes me feel good. It gives me energy. It will balance out my red and white blood cells, and this oxygenates your blood. something that is very, very important, because we can live out without certain organs, but if I strip all the blood and oxygen out of your human body, you will become a corpse, period. So this is a very, very serious product. Please try it. If you don't like it, it's okay. You will get used to it. Give any of our products at least 30 days before you say no.
Okay. And finally, let's take a quick look at our compensation plan, and we get back to Dr. Paradip Jamnadas, our world-renowned cardiologist, an expert in eliminating visceral fat, and he has a lot to say about fasting, the easiest way and the fastest way to get rid of visceral fat. So, the Atomy compensation plan, and we move it.
Atomy creates and distributes high-quality products. Things we all use every day, such as shampoo, conditioner, soap, toothpaste and toothbrushes, beauty items, cosmetics, health supplements, and much more. And Atomy is committed to bringing these prestige luxury items to the mass market. This strategy is known as mastige. And Atomy's concept is to enable consumers to swap brands. Atomy has an ethos of absolute quality, absolute price. It means Atomy is dedicated to ensuring its products are of a quality that is unmatchable for the price customers pay. And it's so simple to switch brand when what's on offer is unbeatable in quality and price. Remember that. Absolute quality, absolute price. Quality that is as good as, if not better, than designer brands at a fraction of the price. Atomy is an online shop or shopping mall. And hey, it's free and easy to join and set up an account. Yes, free to join. And once registered as a member, you have exclusive access to the Atomy product range. Here's the really good part. Buying from Atomy gives you points, known as personal point value, or to keep it really short, PPV. Each product has its own PV. Your PPV accumulates and never expires. You only have to make one purchase a year, no matter how small, to keep your account active. And that's no problem, because you love Atomy's absolute quality and absolute price, right? It gets better. You share Atomy's secret with others, they become members, and when they shop, you all earn PV. And what does PV mean? Cash, paid to you as commission. This is a new age of retail. Atomy puts the consumers first and rewards them for their loyalty. Although some members simply choose to shop for their own personal needs, many decide to develop their membership into full-time, lucrative businesses. Let's look at how this works in a little more detail. Let's say you recommend Atomy to your cousin, Jane, because you love using Atomy products so much. You become Jane's sponsor and give her your ID to enable her to register as an Atomy member. Jane is then automatically registered under your A market, your left leg. Then you recommend to your friend Adam, and he becomes registered in your B market, your right leg. Adam could be in Canada or China. Atomy membership is global. You, or Jane, or Adam can then sponsor more members to join your left or right leg, your A or B markets. They are added down the line, and they don't need to live in your country either. Everyone in each of your market legs generates PV. Remember that? Point value, You have your own PV, and every day your market legs generate group PV. As soon as your own PV exceeds 10,000, earned from purchasing one Atomy shampoo or face wash, for example, and each of your market legs exceeds 300,000 each month, you earn commission. Everyone in each of your market legs who qualifies becomes eligible to receive the same amount of commission. The larger your markets and the greater the collective PV, the higher the commission will be. And it's worth noting, keeping your market legs equally balanced is important. Group PV is calculated on the leg with the smaller PV volume. This is part of the secret of success with Atomy. Hard work is never wasted. And it doesn't stop there. As your network grows, so does your regular collective PV. And the hard work invested takes you higher up the ranks of mastership, which comes with life-changing bonuses. You can cherish the spirit of Atomy through its products of absolute quality and absolute price. You can share the good news and reap great rewards by doing so. You may have discovered Atomy compensation videos on YouTube or Channel Atomy already. More details about how it works is freely available. And Atomy's Success Academies and seminars will provide regular, inspiring support to members, and prospective members too. Absolute quality, absolute price. Atomy you can trust.
Okay. Great. And to remind all of us that come the middle of July, the month just ahead of us, I believe it's going to be a dynamic month. I believe it's going to be the month when it will be another race towards masterships. So get ready. The 16th of July to the end of July, we're all going to make another dash for cash. Masterships. So everyone pay attention. Let's try and get this thing done. No, let's take out the word scratch. Let's get it done. Hats off to Sylvia on the call with us this morning. I know your beauty party didn't go as you had hoped, but don't give up. At least you have experienced what it is to crack the code. You executed. I want to encourage everyone to somehow get into your beauty party program, activate. Let's get it done. Crack the code. Come out of hiding. Crack the code. Make that bold step. Whatever you have to do. All right. So let me segue here into allowing my family to share. If you have a testimony, you have a question, this is your time to come out of your little space and get involved. Igor, I want to address your question in the chat this morning. I purposefully thought it was a good question that I saw only this morning in my WhatsApp, and I would like us to discuss it. We have Dr. I call him Paradigm, although that's not his name. It's Paradigm Jamnadas. He's a world-renowned cardiologist, and I think he has a lot to say as it relates to heart health. And funny, I believe that the HemoHim is the answer to a lot of these cardiac issues going on. So let's open the floor. Let me say good morning again. Ode, if you can, I invite you to be my co-host and to help me along, but let's have some dialogue here. The floor is open. Any questions, any testimonials, and then we will get back to Dr. Paradip. Okay, let's go. Who will be first? Yes, I'm going to have to start to call out individuals. No testimonials, no questions, no stories to tell. How's your Atomy business going? Hello, y'all. Are you hearing me?
CJ?
Ode,
Yeah,
long
good
time.
morning. Good morning,
Yes.
everyone. I would like to share something with the ones that wasn't on the call last night with Tony.
Yes.
Tony shared some very important information with us,
Yes.
which is probably in this system of things, because back in the olden days, it wasn't like that. She said that she read an article that you must not eat leftover eggs. She didn't go into the full details of it. She said, but Sunday night she would definitely let us know because the CEO had a call. So she was just trying to run this through us. And do you know, she said we must not eat leftover spinach. She didn't tell us why. But like I said, next Sunday night, she said she would give us all the details. And we definitely know that we shouldn't be eating the ketchup unless it's organic. And then she said, do not reheat chicken. There's a chemical in there.
Do not reheat anything, as a matter of fact. But go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead,
that's
Ode.
true. That's true. Because that's like from the olden days, you didn't reheat food. We used to cook every day from the garden. But you know, now this modern time and this microwave thing and this air fryer thing, you know, people are getting away. That we've gotten away from saying eating fresh every day. But she said that that was a very important article and that she shared that with us last night. So guys, we have to consider, and we know we definitely don't eat leftover rice.
Oh my
and you
goodness.
definitely don't put it, you don't put it in the refrigerator because you know
That's
it,
number
once
one
it
culprit
hits
right
the
there.
refrigerator, it turns into starch, and that's where the diabetes starts at, with that starch. So, and then she said, if you decide you're going to reheat the rice, put it on a very, very low heat and let it just get warm, lukewarm, and then you remove it and you can eat it that way. So I thought that was so important because I didn't know, which I really don't like reheated food. But, you know, sometimes this busy system that we're in and we're going and going, you know, you just grab some time. So I thought that I would share this with the team this morning to let you all know that this was what was shared with us last night.
You know, Ode, I thank you for sharing that. And perhaps, well, the fact that you're bringing up this subject matter, Ode, you heard it on Sunday night. On this very same Momentum morning, this very same matter was addressed a couple of weeks ago. The whole issue of avoid reheating foods. It's dangerous. The question that the average person will ask, so what are we going to do? You know, yeah, I get it. But there should be the consistent and conscious effort to avoid reheating foods, and especially in the microwave.
Yes.
So we have on the show this morning, in video format, by the way, Dr. Paradip Jamnadas, who has a lot to say about the rice. and that we wouldn't believe the amount of arsenic that is in the rice. I keeps coming up over and over and over. Yes, Igor, what products can we? Okay, good, great. We're gonna come to that in a minute. So thank you, Ode, for bringing the awareness to the call this morning, because here we are going to go back to Dr. Jamnadas, who is talking about the plaque in the arteries. So the heart attack is due to the plaque. The plaque is due to inflammation. And guess what? Some of these reheated foods that we are consuming is helping to start all that inflammation in the body. And where does the inflammation start? In the gut.
CJ, also let me share this also, because I know when you say don't do something, then you say, well, what can I do to replace that? I know for sure that I took away. I mean, I don't eat the reheated rice, but I went into the store the other day in Whole Food, and they had the cauliflower rice. Guys, believe me, it is excellent. Cook it just as the direction says on the pack. It is excellent. And you will never know that it is not rice. It is the cauliflower.
Interesting.
In the form of rice. So I know that you can replace that. But like you were saying, to reheat it. But then if it's cauliflower, you know, cauliflower don't take but a few minutes. So that would be something that, okay, you say, okay, I got 10 minutes. You can fix that. Unlike rice, take about, what, 20 minutes? You know?
It's becoming so scary, Ode. I'm fighting with members in my family of family members. It's like you are tempted to say, hey, you want to avoid this, be careful about the other, this and that and the other. And you are becoming a little annoying now, because so everything we are doing we can't do, from the soap to the detergent to the dishwashing liquid. What's up with you? And then you realize that you're making everyone uncomfortable, because they want to do what they want to do out of habit, but it's so life threatening. So I am so happy that you are giving me an alternative to the rice as we know it. It's laden with arsenic. The farms that we have, the deltas that where the rice paddies all over the world, they use the arsenic to get rid of the pesticides or whatever that will affect the rice, but it gets into the rice. The same thing with the peanuts. The peanut, yeah, the all this what you call it, that it's used to destroy weeds and it's a Roundup.
Roundup,
It leaks
yes.
into the soil and gets into the nuts. So all these peanuts that we are eating, it's poison. Anyway, anyone else? Yes, thanks, Ode. I appreciate that, because
Also,
momentum. Yes, Ode, please go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
also, someone sent me a video, I just came across it. And I tell you, my heart was broken, because I'm like, the bananas.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It says organic, but then I looked at the video and it says that they are all sprayed the same way. I'm like, the regular banana. But I'm gonna tell you something. There is a difference. There's a difference between where I bought that banana from. Might have been Bravo or somewhere I was at, and I bought a banana and I tried to eat it. I couldn't eat that banana. But when I go to Whole Food, I can eat Whole Food bananas. So there is a little difference in Whole Food banana and the one that I bought. No, that was Bravo, out of Bravo. I took 2 bites of it and I'm like, no, this is not right. But then the next day, because my body was craving bananas, I'm like, okay, that means I'm deficient in something. It want that, you know? because God created it, and the body tells you what it needs. And so when I went to Whole Food, I got the banana. I ate the banana with no problem. So guys, you have to be careful with these sprayed bananas, because maybe you can pull the video up. If you see that, I tell you, it will turn you against bananas. You will never eat another one. So that's another thing we have to be mindful of, you know?
Yes, Ode. I have been watching how so much of our foods is so poisonous, so toxic. And one of the reasons why I believe the Hemohim is does what it does is that a big part of the intake of the taking the Hemohim is that it detoxes, it cleanses the blood, it renews the blood. Life is in the blood. So all these toxins that we're taking in, we need to expel it from the body.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God we have the milk thistle that helps to cleanse and restore the liver. We have the atom, that's the Atame milk thistle, of course, and the noni, fermented noni, and our Hemohim. Anything that is about the cleaning of the blood is so very vital, so very important. So we want to be ensuring that we are taking our Hemohim. This lady that spoke this morning, is it how many does she take per day, Ode? 4? She was she did the Hemohim presentation. Is it 4 times a day?
Yes.
Yes, 4 a day.
4 a day. She's strong, you know. I can't even take a half a pack.
You serious?
That it gets me going. I take a half a
2
pack.
to 3 a day.
Huh?
I take 2 to 3 a day.
Yes. Of
I
course.
take a half a pack in the morning. And then Nick had told me, I say, if I take it at night, it makes me stay up. Nick say, no, you take it and go to bed.
Yeah.
And it does work. If you take it and then let it liquefy in your mouth and swallow it and go to bed, it will put you to sleep. That's the difference. Yes. Because it got the energy and then it got the calmness.
Okay. That thing is good. And you know, one thing that I've noticed it does, and this perhaps is my testimonial, is that the clarity. I know if I am not using my Hemohim, the Hemohim seems to do a number on clarity, clear thinking, and even sharper thinking, fast thinking. Because why? It brings oxygen to the body, and
it does. Okay.
It does.
It does. Yes.
It removes all that brain fog all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I keep hearing those hardcore atomians, they're taking 3, 4, 5, up to 6 per day, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're not having any major issues going on. But the important thing is to have the Hemohim in your system.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
And another thing, CJ, guys, we must get on that iLutein. Because with all of the TV, the phone, and you're on the phone all day, you're on your laptop all day, that iLutein keeps your eyes strong. It took one of my customers to come in, and she told me, she said, she called it, I don't want that weak one. That's the blue bottle. She said, but that other bottle, which I think has got the gold on it, that's the one. And she orders 2 of them at a time. She say, Odie, this works for me. I say, really? She say, it works for me. And she always order 2 at a time. And when she gives out of one and she start number 2, she comes back and reorder. And guys, I noticed it does work. It really does work.
Okay. Is that the Luzanthum?
Yes.
Okay. I'd love to, okay. I'm going to bring it up shortly. I know that, and I want to get back to the video that we were watching early this morning, but I believe that Igor, there's a question that you have, and you want to go ahead and ask the question while I bring up the Luzanthum for the eyes.
Yes. I
Yeah,
wanted
so,
to find out
yeah.
what you can use to bring your potassium up. I know that I have a short list. I put the Hemohim and Noni. I wanted to know if we have anything else that can help somebody to bring up the potassium level back up.
Okay, so I have explored the medicine cabinet. I've gone through the shelves in the warehouse here. You know, it's my warehouse, my wellness store. I haven't found anything supplementation wise, Igor, but by way of foods, the sweet potato and the ripe banana, the right kind of ripe banana, it's rich in potassium. But I haven't seen anything in the wellness store that we could include in our shopping list for that is rich in potassium.
Thank you.
So, but I'm gonna keep investigating, Igor. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Igor. Anything else?
CJ, I could do an addition to the preheating of rice, but I don't know if my phone will allow me to. So,
Yeah, well, we're hearing you so far.
okay, what I did a research and it says there's a bacteria that is to be found in uncooked rice. Even when cooked, the bacteria are not killed but survive and can grow into different organisms. These survivors they are able to produce a toxin which could result in food poisoning. So I have found out this little about it. So just adding to what Holly said.
Okay. Thank you, Sylvia. Okay. All right. Thanks, Sylvia. Let's be careful about this reheating of our foods. It's and of course, if you have to reheat, always never in the microwave, and always on a slow heat or low heat. Okay.
It also said that reheating should not be done. However, if it is done, then the cooked rice should be in the refrigerator with 2 hours after cooked. And sure 10 degrees centigrade.
Sylvia, your phone is out.
From such a I know that.
We're losing you, Sylvia. Losing you again. Oh dear.
I know.
Oh dear.
CJ, what was the question that he asked? My phone went out, and I just came back.
Right. So what do we have in Atomy that can help to replenish the potassium in the body?
Oh.
Hmm.
What I know is if you eat white beans, get the beans in the bag and soak them, and you can cook them. You have it in your salmon, you have it in your spinach. It's basically in your food. So it's what you're eating. It will build your potassium back up.
Hope that Igor, if you're listening. So is there anything in the Artemis store that helps with the potassium?
I haven't studied it yet, CJ, but I will. I will look into it, and if there is, I will
Thank
let you
you.
know. You're welcome.
Okay. I'm trying to bring up for.
Yes, CJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's spirulina. Spirulina is good. I don't need spirulina. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite getting it.
Spirulina.
Oh, spirulina.
Yes.
Oh, spirulina. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Spirulina. Okay. I do not know if you seeing my screen here. Okay, let me do some here quick. I'm gonna get back to our second. Picking up. One second. Going into the Artemis store. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Trying to bring up the Luzanthum, but I am. Give me a second. And share. Right. Okay. I'm trying to bring up the Luzanthum Ode, but I'm not able to. Okay. So can we get back to the video that we were playing this morning? If there is no other question right now, I really would love to hear what Dr. Jamnadas has to say as about the about heart attacks this morning. Okay.
No sound. Or is it only with me? No sound.
CJ, no sound.
No sound, please. We can hear him. Thank you.
Is that Patience? Someone saying something?
Well, yeah, there is no sound, CJ.
No sound. We couldn't hear him.
We don't hear the video.
We can hear the video.
Can hear.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Let's
welcome.
okay. Let me just back up.
And what had that 28-year-old done
How about now?
to end up in your surgery? What were the decisions that they had made
Yeah,
that
we can hear you.
Okay, great. All right.
brought them there?
So he was, number one, he was overweight. But he wasn't just overweight. The overweight was all in his belly. And he had a fatty liver. And he had what is known as visceral fat. He was not a diabetic, but he was a pre-diabetic. That means he had a lot of insulin in his body. And his glucose levels were good. So if you went to his family doctor, they'll say, oh, you're not a diabetic. Your hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood test that you do for diabetes, is actually okay. But actually that patient had a very high insulin blood level. Now, insulin is a very atherogenic molecule. It causes smooth muscle proliferation. Smooth muscle is in the walls of the arteries. It causes vasoconstriction. It makes your blood more clotty. And it causes inflammation. So this patient was a pre-diabetic. And this is very important. This is what caught my attention. Because when I looked at my patients that were coming in with heart attacks and hardening of the arteries, and when I tried to identify why they're doing this, none of them were diabetics. But then I did a glucose tolerance test on them. And what happened, it was just by chance that I happened to have these tests in my office where you can measure the blood glucose. So I had about 120 of them. So I said, look, let's just do some random testing on these patients. And I found that at least half of them had no diabetes, but their glucose intolerance. That means that the sugars went up, but not enough to make them a diabetic, but it did go above the normal range. We did not have insulin testing at that time. About 10 years later, we started testing insulin in the office, and I bought a machine for this purpose in my office to measure insulin levels. And life was never the same again.
Why?
Because it's all about insulin when it comes to the metabolic derangement. So I found that these patients, the sugars were going up to 150, 160 after giving them a glucose drink.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, okay, he's not a diabetic. Look, the sugar didn't really go high. But when you measured the insulin level, the insulin was off the roof.
So when you say this is an insulin problem, can you explain this to me like I have no idea what glucose and insulin are? For any of my listeners out there that have a inexperienced understanding of these terms and what they do and mean.
It's crucial. Everybody needs to understand the relationship between sugar, which is glucose, and insulin. When you consume sugar or glucose, the body has to get rid of that glucose very quickly from the bloodstream because glucose actually is toxic inside the bloodstream. Even though it is what the body uses for energy, in the bloodstream, it glycates all the blood vessels and the walls and the components in blood and the hemoglobin as well, glycates it. That means the glucose attaches itself to that molecule. So now that molecule can't work properly. That is why the higher your blood glucose, all your chemicals don't work well. Your enzymes don't work well. Your hormones don't work well. Nothing works well, and you age prematurely because you're getting glycation. A glycated molecule can't work normally. It doesn't function normally. So when you consume the glucose has to come out of the bloodstream. And how does the body do it? It sends a message to the pancreas. The pancreas says, aha, I'll make some insulin. It pours insulin into the bloodstream. Insulin comes into the bloodstream, pushes the glucose into the cells. And where does it push it in? into the liver, into the muscles, into every cell in the body. Insulin will push glucose out. Now, how much insulin is the question? If I'm eating every 3 hours and I'm consuming glucose, or I'm consuming starchy foods, or I'm consuming carbohydrates, now watch where I'm going with this, because you're already beginning to know where I'm going with this. I'm consuming glucose and carbs every 2-3 hours. I'm stimulating my pancreas. I'm stimulating my insulin. My insulin goes up, it comes down. But before it even gets a chance to come down, it goes up again. So the repeated consumption of and frequent consumption of glucose is causing my insulin to stay high, because insulin stays a little bit longer in the bloodstream than the glucose. The glucose will come down in about 2 to 3 hours, but the insulin stays higher for about 4 hours. Now what happens is that you continue this lifestyle for a few years. Now the body, because these are all hormones, will say, well, I'm going to need to make more insulin now. You become insulin resistant. Any hormone that stays in your body for a long time, the body becomes immune to it. So the next time I eat the sugar, I'm going to have to make more insulin to produce the same effect. That is called insulin resistance. So now you got this patient who's been eating carbs, sugar, processed foods. What does that mean, processed food? That means foods that are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. Processed foods. These are products without fiber. So the absorption is very quick. So the poor pancreas has to react just like that. Produces a whole bunch of insulin. And then the frequent eating and the frequent consumption makes you insulin resistant. So now you produce a whole bunch of insulin in order to bring that sugar level down. So then you say, okay, well, it doesn't matter because the insulin is bringing the sugar level down. So what's the harm done? Because your A1C is still good, you're not diabetic. No, but it's that background high insulin that is destroying your metabolism. It's that high insulin level in the background. So insulin pushes glucose into the liver and you develop a fatty liver. It pushes the calories into production of new fats around your viscera. The viscera means in your belly, around your pancreas. You get visceral fat. Now, this fat is produced from glucose. It's a different kind of fat. Look, if I gave you a high-calorie diet right now of all sorts of foods, you put on weight everywhere, okay?
I couldn't believe how much mucus came out of my lungs the first time I tried this. It felt like I could finally breathe again. You were probably told that when you get older...
Okay. But if I give you glucose, you put it on mostly in your stomach. And your stomach will protrude. And that's called visceral fat. It's on the inside. You can't pinch it. It's on the inside.
Around your organs.
Around the organs. This is very detrimental fat. And that's the epidemic that we have today.
And that's a direct result of eating, starchy, glucose, carbohydrates, which creates insulin, which creates this downstream effect on...
Wrong foods and eating too frequently.
Too frequently, okay.
Because remember, it's also the frequency of eating. Because before that insulin gets a chance to come down, you're already popping yourself with more food. And hence you develop insulin resistance. You get a very high insulin. It takes this much insulin.
Okay. I'm going to stop it here. And Igor, if you are on the call, you're there, Igor? Because I can't see my back office.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I posted it in the chat.
Thank you.
See. Okay, so in wrapping up this conversation this morning, there it is. Proactively, and I am not a doctor. I am not a doctor, but it's clear to me that whether or not we are diabetic, whether or not we are prebiotic, we all should be taking that supplement called the Atomy Bitter Lemon. That's number one. That should be a part of the regimen. Also, to the extent that the milk thistle does a number on the liver and the kidneys, we should also be including the milk thistle in our daily routine. And additionally, and finally, a little bit of fasting might be a good thing because, as the goodly Dr. Jamnadas is saying, and he's a cardiologist over 30 years experience, he is saying that eating too much is what is causing the visceral fat, is also what is causing the insulin in the body. The body needs a moment to get into homeostasis,
Rest.
to normalize. Yes. So, in fact, the less we eat, the better. I say this: even one day out of the week, choose that day. You take a day and you fast, helping the body to heal itself. And a true fast is if you after your morning breakfast, you don't have another meal until the next morning breakfast, or in the evening or the afternoon when you have that meal, you do not have a meal on 24 from 24 to 24. A 24-hour period is what is a reasonable fast. And these things will help in more ways than one. And that is my little encouragement to all of us. Our milk thistle, liver health, kidney health, and the bitter lemon, making sure that we are and not be, you don't have to be a diabetic to be taking these things. It is preventing the inflammation from setting in. And the inflammation, of course, as we know, it starts in the gut. So we want to make sure we do all these things so that we don't have these plaques building up in the arteries. And that's it. That's it. Any final words, anyone, before we go? All right. Well, that's all for me this morning on the Momentum Morning. Your milk thistle, your fermented noni, your bitter melon, and of course, your hemohim. Yes, you want to be renewing the blood. Okay, oxygenating your blood, red blood cells, white blood cells, blood platelets, right down into the very bone marrow. Take your hemohim every day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, the more the merrier. And for me, it's Aja, Aja, Aja. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Have a great day, everyone.
Same to you. Thank you.
Okay.